Hello and welcome to today's video. This is going to be my February makeup capsule. I am very excited. I have absolutely loved doing this. I introduced this for the first time at the beginning of January. Basically, I'm doing a monthly makeup capsule collection where I am decreasing the size of my collection that I'm working out of. So it is all the things that I'm working on for that month. That includes Project Pan items and Shop My Stash items. It's basically the combination of a Project Pan and Shop My Stash. I am still doing separate Project Pan videos, so if you saw those things were part of the capsule. I will link January's video because I explained it in much more detail, so I don't want to be overly repetitive, but I went into a lot more details with my intentions for doing this, and I have absolutely loved this so much. I really think the makeup capsule has helped me on my low buy a lot. It's been one of the most helpful things for me, and I think that is because I am taking my large makeup collection, narrowing it down, and that's all that I can use for the month. And I've just realized how many different looks I can do with a smaller collection. I'm obviously picking the items to have enough variety for my needs. I like to wear warm neutrals, bright colorful shadows, cool tones. I like a lot of variety, especially when it comes to eyeshadow. So I gave myself enough options to be able to do that. And I gotta say it worked out so well. I absolutely loved it. So again, check out January's video for more details on that. And I'm still doing separate Project Pans. The things in here that are in Project Pans, I'm going to kind of breeze over because obviously I'm going to be updating those videos separately. And this is only for color cosmetics. This is not for complexion products just because I don't really have that many foundations or concealers or powders. So, you know, those things are going in Project Pans too, but they're not really part of the capsule because, yeah, it's really my color cosmetics that I really need to rotate through. So this is blush, highlighter, lip products, eyeshadow, and all of that. So let's get into this video. I'm just gonna give a few thoughts on January's capsule and then I'll show you the products for February. Now, I will say I loved everything in January's capsule. It was all great stuff. I loved it. I loved everything I used, except these two things were only okay. And the thing is these palettes I kind of thought were only okay going into it, and I used them and my thoughts are pretty much the same. One is the Fenty Cool Neutral Snap Shadows. I liked using it. It is a nice quality palette, but I don't know. I think it's just something about the color selection that doesn't speak to me a whole lot. And then the other one is the Nabla Coral Cutie. This is in my using my eyeshadow palettes Project Pan, and I used it over 20 times because that's what that project is. And I like this. I don't love it. This pink shade I love. Actually, that's my favorite shade in this whole palette. So I don't know. I feel the same way about this one, but I'm not ready to declutter them. I've mentioned before that part of this capsule is that I may be looking for products to declutter. These are on the maybe list, but I'm not ready to commit to that because I try to be very cautious with my declutters because I don't want to regret anything later because I have done that in the past. So everything else in January's capsule was amazing. I'm not going to rehash it all because this video would be way too long. One other thing that I'm kind of slightly changing is going to be the length of the capsule. February is going to be, it's obviously a shorter month to begin with, but I think I'm actually going to only do a 3-week capsule so that March's is a little bit longer, because for this month I'm not going to be doing the using my eyeshadow palettes Project Pan because it's not enough time to use that many palettes that many times. But if I kind of alternate some months to a slightly longer capsule, then I could still do that project within this. Hopefully that makes sense. If you've seen that Project Pan, you kind of know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I think I'm going to kind of alternate months, some maybe slightly longer and slightly shorter. So this is going to be a shorter one, therefore I'm using less items. Oh, one thing about January's capsule was it was actually 6 weeks because I used those products for the last 2 weeks of December and then all of January. So hopefully this makes sense. And yeah, let me just go ahead and show you the products that are going to be in the capsule for February. I'm going to quickly mention the Project Pan items that are obviously going to be staying. Pan That Palette Soft Glam, that's going to be staying. This Charlotte Tilbury, this is in a project too. So I will update my projects so you can see the progress in those videos. Colourpop Bronzer, Urban Decay Sin Highlighter, Too Faced Blush. Those are all in projects. I have a couple other things and then the rest is kind of new stuff. The Becca Afterglow Sunset palette, also in a project, and same with this Hourglass palette. And then this is a repressed blush from this Becca palette that is in here. So I'm going to continue working all of these I am really excited to update my Finish 10 in 2021 project because I've made some really good progress here, so I will show you that in that video. Before I show you the rest of the Cheek products and the eyeshadow palettes I have picked for the month, I'm actually going to talk about lip products because that is one other thing that I am changing. I was initially going to kind of try to rotate through my lip collection. However, a few weeks ago, I found 3 lipsticks that expired and I just decided I want to try to pan as many lip products as possible. So I have curated a collection here of lip products, and I'm thinking of using only these until something is done and then rolling something new in. Unless there's some lip product I really want to wear one day, you know, of course I'll allow myself to do that. But for the most part, I'm mostly trying to stick to the capsule. And in January, I mostly did stick to the capsule as far as pretty much all makeup. I think I did pick 2 other eyeshadows on a couple occasions where I really wanted them for a specific look. But yeah, the most part I did stick to the capsule. So these are lip products I would love to finish. Now this Kylie one, I'm thinking of putting this in a project. I tried to pan this last year and I didn't quite finish it, but I'm kind of scraping the sides. I am wearing this today combined with 2 other things. Another one I'd love to finish is Anastasia Beverly Hills in Pure Hollywood. I've mentioned multiple times now, I stopped supporting the brand a while ago, so I think if I could pan some of the products, you know, that would make me happy, but I don't want to just, you know, get rid of them. This isn't a project, I'm trying to finish it. This is a mini of MAC Velvet Teddy. This is in the Deck of Panning Project Pan, so that will stay. And then I picked some other ones that I think I'd want to finish at some point. This is Maybelline Baddest Beige. I've had this for a while. I like it, but I don't know. It's not the best lipstick ever. It kind of has that super plasticky smell, and it's had that since I first purchased it. So I'm gonna work on that. And then I put this mini liquid lipstick in here by Sigma. This is a free gift with purchase in the color Fable. This lip liner, oh my gosh, I've tried to finish this so many times and I finally, I've got some progress on it. This is Colourpop BFF. I would love to finish this. I tried to finish this last year and maybe even the year before and I still couldn't do it. But I got to get more consistent with that. So that is my plan. And then I have 4 lip glosses. I've got this Maybelline gloss in the color Moon, these lifter glosses. I really like this. It's a nice formula. So that is a good one. And then I've got 3 from Pat McGrath. I would love to finish my Pat McGrath glosses because they're expensive and I don't want them to go bad. I love these so much. I would definitely repurchase, but I don't want to buy more until I finish these because again, I had those lip products expire recently and I'm trying not to buy lip products for quite a while because I don't want more going bad. And honestly, mine will because I didn't buy that many lip products last year, particularly lipsticks. So a lot of my lipsticks and even lip glosses are from 2018 and 2019. Now, those are probably technically expired based on, you know, the dates they put on these things. I prefer not to go by that. I prefer by going off of change in texture, smell, or something like that. So I'm just going to kind of keep an eye out, but this one is Flesh 4. These are minis. This one is Divine Rose. I love that color. It's beautiful. And actually this was a good color for February as far as, you know, Valentine's colors. I'm not really one that is super into Valentine's Day, but I love pink and purple makeup, and obviously that is the look I'm going for today. I really love those colors, so I'm gonna kind of go with that, I think, a little bit. And then I have a full size of Bronze Divinity. Absolutely amazing. I love those glosses and I do not want them to go to waste. Let me show you the remaining Cheek products and then the rest will be the eyeshadow palettes. I picked this Bobbi Brown highlighter. This is in beige. This is one of the shimmer bricks. This is a product, I like it. I don't know that I love it. I've had this in my Shop My Stash before, I think last year. And yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things that I like it. It's not wowing me, but it's a pretty highlighter and I like it. This is one that I got in PR last year. This is Pixie in the Glowy Gossamer Duos in Subtle Sunrise. And I haven't used it that much, but I do remember liking it. So I think this will be a nice addition to the capsule. And even though I am panning those other highlighters that I showed you at the beginning, I love layering highlighters. So for me, that is no issue to be putting on different highlighters because I kind of like to do that, kind of get a custom look. So let's talk about blush. Obviously, I'm mostly going to be using the Project Pan blush, but I do like particularly this Too Faced. This is such a neutral color. I like to combine it with other blushes. So today I'm wearing this kind of like here, and then here I'm wearing an Ofra blush kind of over that. So this one, because it's so neutral, it's really easy to layer with other colors. This is a blush I've been thinking about lately. I've been like, man, I really like that blush. I want to use it. So I thought I would put it in the capsule, and that is this e.l.f. one in Always Cheeky. It is a very peach color and it is very, very pretty. This is actually probably one of my favorite blushes in my entire collection. When I ranked my blush collection, I think last year, I think I ranked this one pretty high. Another face palette is going to be the Becca Chloe palette. I really like this one. This is a really nice one. And so I've got two blushes, a bronzer, and a highlight. So I thought this would be good to get some use out of. And this is something that is in my Project 100 uses, and I haven't used it in a while. So I'd like to kind of get going on that and get my number up on this one because this is a beautiful palette. I definitely want to get my money's worth out of that. And that will go, it's pretty neutral. That'll go with a lot of different things. And I decided to just put in another bronzer, even though I am working on my Project Pan bronzer, but I decided to go with the Morphe Icon. This one I think I could also use as a contour shade, whereas the Colourpop one I don't think works as well for that, but I also am using the Charlotte Tilbury for contour. But you know what? I thought I'd change it up because I don't want to leave my bronzers neglected. I've mentioned that I'm pretty light-handed with bronzer these days, just because I found if I use too much, you know, it's not the best look on me anymore. But, you know, I still want to rotate through the bronzers that I have, therefore I thought I would pick that. One more Cheek product, and that is Anastasia Glow Kit. This is the Sugar Glow Kit. I haven't used this in a while, and I particularly love this color, Starburst. This is the highlighter I'm wearing today. I have hit pan on one of these Anastasia highlighters before, and it takes so long. It's crazy. I've actually used this highlighter a lot, and there's barely a dip going in there. There's a lot of product in here. It's a very dense formula, but I do enjoy it, so I thought that would be great. That has a bit of a pink undertone, so I think that would look good with pink makeup looks, kind of like what I'm wearing today. All right, on to the eyeshadow palettes. As I mentioned, way less palettes this month in here than last month, but again, that was a 6-week capsule. This is probably only going to be a 3-week. Baked Browns by Dose of Colors. You know, this is super basic, simple matte browns, but I really love this formula, and I think I could use this in combination very easily with some of the other palettes I've chosen. Next up is the Colourpop Going Coconuts. This is kind of a neglected palette for me, sadly. I do like it. I mean, it's not my favorite palette ever, but I do particularly think that this color, Cocoa Crush, is really nice. And the rest, I mean, pretty simple neutral colors, but yeah, I've really neglected that one, so I thought that would be good to get some use out of. I have mentioned that every month I want to try to include at least one magnetic palette because I tend to really neglect my single eyeshadows and my depotted eyeshadows. So this month I went with this. These are all by JD Glow, and these are amazing. This formula is spectacular. These are so metallic and foiled on the eyes, so I thought this would be really fun for some colorful looks. These are two random MAC eyeshadows. This is Corduroy and that is Deep Damson, so I just thought I'd throw those in as well. Those could go with really any look. I did pick one from Juvia's Place. This is such a good palette, and I have not used it that much, unfortunately. This is the Magic palette. Sadly, this is my second Magic palette that I've owned. I bought it when it first came out, and it was in that ginormous packaging, but that packaging really fell apart, and so I ended up depotting it, but then some of the shades broke. So eventually I did repurchase the mini size, and I want to get my use out of it because I really think color story wise, this is my favorite that Juvia's has done. I think there are such unique colors in here, and they're just so pretty. Really beautiful. I thought that would be perfect as well. All right, 2 palettes left, and they are both Natasha Denona. I went with this. This is the green and brown palette. This one, I really do love this color story. I've talked about multiple times in recent videos that I just kind of regret spending this much money on a palette, even though I love the palette. I've just kind of decided that spending more than $100 on an eyeshadow palette is not really something I want to do again. And even $100 is a lot of money, I know, but I paid $155 for this. At full price, it's $239, which is just crazy. So I just don't know that I want to spend that much in the future. But I got it, so now I want to use it. And I do love it. It's really good formula-wise. It's really one of the best by Natasha Denona as far as the formula. And this is something that is in my project 100 uses, and I would really like to get to 100 uses on this sometime, this year. Obviously, it'll take multiple months because for me, one use is one day. So if I use this one day using like 6 different eyeshadows, that's just still one use. So probably will take a while to get to that, but that is definitely a goal because it's so expensive and I do love it. As I mentioned, I want to have a Valentine's theme palette for the month. Yeah, this is the perfect palette, the Natasha Denona Love palette. And also, this is my newest palette. This was my Christmas gift and I didn't get it until late. So my husband got it for me, but with the shipping delays, I didn't get it until like the very end of December. Therefore, this was not in my January capsule, but I think February is the perfect month for it anyway. This is the palette I'm wearing today. I did use this, I think, 2 other times since I got it, just because I could not resist. It is so beautiful, really good formula. I've mentioned before that I really do love the Natasha Denona formula, but some of her palettes are just not quite as good as others, but this is a really good formula. I really like it. And I am maybe thinking of re-ranking my Natasha Denona palettes. I did that video at the beginning of December, but I got 3 Natasha Denona palettes after that. So we'll see if I end up doing that, but this is beautiful. I love the colors. I love the formula. I love pink and purple eyeshadow. I love how this look came out. It's really nice. So I thought this would be perfect for Valentine's themed makeup. That is it for my February capsule. I gotta say, I've said it at the beginning of the video, but I love this so much. I love that I'm curating my collection to a smaller collection to work out of every month. And I am putting a lot of thought into the products that I'm picking out. I've been kind of pondering these products for probably the last week and a half, kind of thinking about what I want to include. And I want to make sure that I have enough for every type of look that I really like to do. I gotta say, I didn't really pick a lot of cool tones this month. I definitely don't really even have cool tone neutrals, kind of the Going Coconuts palette, but that pulls kind of neutral warm on me, but that is okay. I'm very, very excited. Like I said, this one is going to be a little bit shorter, but I probably will stick to kind of updating close to the beginning of each month. But yeah, that is it for this video. If you did not see my January capsule, I will link that video in the description box, because again, I kind of explained my intentions a little bit more in that video than I did in this one. That is it. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.